trash, you know, a mixture of urine. A lot of people have some pretty good ideas. Hi, everybody. All right, I'm at the Ben Shapiro, and that's Joe Rykoff. She's like, okay. So you guys, so where's your Trump hats and stuff?
I don't know one. But
oh, you got to get one still. Okay. I've gotten like 4 or 5 since I had the sweat stain one. Hey.
I love you.
I love you.
Arthur Shapiro.
Shopper. See, she said Shapiro. That's fine. That's fine.
You're an honorary Jew.
Yes, I am. Grafted in. Sorry.
I have my hat made there.
I like it.
One of a kind.
My voice is gone. Oh. Okay. Just a quick sneak peek. Okay. Yes.
Love.
Have we figured out what kafeve means yet?
It's whatever my president wants it to mean.
Okay. More jobs, build the wall,
Yes.
everything. Sounds good to me.
Arthur, did you ever meet my daughter?
Now I have. What's your name?
I'm Julia.
Nice to meet you, Julia. All
You
right.
look great. I want to take your picture.
You do? Okay, great. Okay.
You know, you're still on my Facebook page, but a virus came on my Facebook 2 weeks ago, and I can't even get on my Facebook.
Oh,
But I
no.
have a picture of you and Elsa.
It's Russia's fault.
Yeah,
Of course. It's all Russia's fault, people.
Total Russia. Okay, back up a little bit.
Okay. It's Russia's fault that Hillary sucks.
All right, give me a good like thumbs up or something. All right, 1, 2. All right.
But I have another question. Who killed Seth Rich? Who killed Seth Rich? That's the one who's... Oh, sorry.
DNC.
Nothing's happened yet. She's probably liberal.
You're tricking.
Doesn't matter. I don't know anything, really. Why? Because I have opinions and you don't?
Freedom of speech.
Yeah, freedom of speech. You have a problem with that, ma'am?
Sorry, no, it's okay.
Really? This is Politicon. This is about discussing political ideas. Why do you have a problem with that? That's what I thought. You don't have an idea. She's a bigot. That's what it is. Yeah, I'm disturbed by you. Oh, brother. God bless our president. I mean, he's brought it out of all of us, right? She's just bitter because Hillary's cheated and still lost. Okay, here we go. So here we are. We're at the Ben Shapiro Town Hall. A couple other friends. What's up?
What up?
Hey, how you doing? So, and your name over there? Andrew and Tyler. Awesome. And you're in the Long Beach area or what?
From San Dimas, California.
San Dimas. All right. Bill and Ted. That's it. And who is Joan of Arc?
Joan of Arc. Shit, I haven't seen the movie in a long time.
Noah's wife. There we go. Oh, brother. Everybody's going after me today. Okay, here we go. San Dimas. Okay. This is great. Okay. So, I don't know, Shy, if you're watching, but I took a hint. I got out of that ridiculous from Russia with Trump. I can't believe they're so delusional. They're still in bondage to that. And so when we find out that Ben Shapiro is allowing us to come in and see it, then I showed up. So this is good. Yeah. What is it? My email, Facebook is arthurchristopher.shop. I'll give you my card.
You got more cards made up?
Your old one. Nice to meet you. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, go ahead. I got so much going on right now.
Let me see. Have your phone here.
Oh. Here. Okay, thank you so much. These are older cards, but it's all accurate for the most part. Oh, thank you. Okay. There you go. I'm in Torrance, California. Anybody in the South Bay? You in Torrance too? Nice to meet you. Where do you live?
I just moved.
You just moved there? Awesome. I live in the West End, on the west side. What about you? Oh, you don't have to say. Yeah, okay. Oh, but you're going to move in.
No, we moved in a few days ago.
Awesome. Torrance, the Balanced City. It's nice. Bob Dornan used to represent Torrance.
Okay.
Yeah.
He just asked me who I represent. I was like, oh, we literally moved a few days ago.
Are you, where do you know where you're living in the city?
Hobada and... Is there a street named Pianza? It's like there's a big mall.
Anza?
Anza.
Okay,
I'm
Sepulveda.
thinking of, no, it's not that close to Anza. There's a big mall near where Anza.
Oh yeah, the Delamo Mall, Fashion Center. So you live near there?
Yeah.
Okay, you got Maxine Waters,
No shit, did I really move into Maxine
the crazy
Waters?
black lady.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah.
This is awesome. I
know.
control like crazy.
And now you can vote for Omar Navarro.
Awesome!
Yeah. So everybody, Omar Navarro raised more money than Maxine Waters did in his bid for her seat.
That is too funny. When is that happening?
The election?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's next November. It's for 2018. So
Oh, it's for 2018.
yeah. So you're on. This is great. What's your name?
When do we vote against 2018? Okay.
Yeah, November. That's for
Anne Marie.
Marie Arthur.
Anne Marie.
Anne Marie. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I made it. I know. It's like I was going to be stuck there listening to Dana Rohrabacher trying to defend himself against Lion Ted and Malcolm Nance is just selling books. Russia had nothing to do with it, folks. Hillary sucked. That's all there is to it. Oh, sorry. I got to remember that. I know. It's get over it. I had a lot of fun. I was at the Democrats. Where do we go from here? That was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah?
They're so delusional. They're still holding on to the idea of just keep pushing the intersectionality and let's just keep doubling down on transgenderism. That'll solve all our problems. Even while Middle America is starving to death, and we all hate her because she's a liar. The whole party's corrupt. And you know who actually admitted that? Cenk Uygur said the Democratic Party is corrupt.
Really?
He said that. And the answer has to be, you need to start over, burn it down.
Yeah.
I mean, it's inherently corrupt.
Way.
Yeah. So this is cool. Good to see
He's on
you.
his way. He should be here any minute.
Harim's coming?
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody, there's Ben. There's Ben, everybody. Okay. Okay. I'm like totally unprepared here. Look at that. This is really good though, because the conservatives are getting the major draw, not the liberals. That's pretty big. They don't.
These are two liberal ladies, and
Okay.
they're here. They're willing to be open
Well, that's
and
good.
to listen to what Ben says.
Well, good. I hope you're willing to find common ground. Let's put it that way.
It's all politics.
Well, of course it is. You know, it's a matter of addition of power.
No need to get upset over your views and my views.
I absolutely agree with you.
Right to your opinion, I have the right to.
I will never kill somebody for disagreeing with me, but I know some cultures will.
Yeah.
That's where we're having a problem. Okay. All right, we're waiting, everybody. So they're starting a little late. What is it? I know, I did. And some of them are these establishment Republicans. Oh, those are the worst. They really hate me. They're so used to the status quo. And Anna Navarro, you know that lady up there? She voted for Hillary Clinton.
What is
She voted for Hillary.
Is she in politics? Is
She's
she,
on CNN.
So she's just a.
She's a commentator. She's totally fake news.
Are you talking about the black lady?
No. She was the white woman in the To Russia with Love conference. or
I
whatever.
wasn't there. I
Yeah.
saw the one with the Tommy Lauren and the other girl.
Oh yeah.
No, that was.
I didn't go to that
That
one.
was
Simon something.
Simone. That was Simone. He missed that one.
Yeah, I didn't go to that one. I had too much to.
She was whacked.
Oh my God.
You recorded it. I didn't. So.
I recorded the whole
You
thing.
see her on TV? You see
Yes,
her?
I've seen her on Carl Tuckerson,
No,
Tucker
in
Carlson.
Lemon. On Lemon. What's his name? Lemon. The one from CNN.
Oh, I don't watch CNN. No.
She's regular.
Everybody, I'm doing the best I can here. So
Angry. Just angry.
we're here at the Ben Shapiro
She jumped
Town Hall.
out of it.
I know. And Tommy's just like being calm and cool. Didn't lose. her temper. She was, I know, she was horrible.
Hey, Mark. Hey, Mark Mendoza. You found me. Good.
So your blog, if I want to follow your blog, what do you know?
Hey, Shop, you have my card. It's on my card. Okay.
And I have a different
Look at this. They fill it up faster than the Democrats. Hey. Here we go. Hey, what's going on?
Arthur Shop.
I don't know if that guy is still selling postcards with Trump as a picture of Hitler. You should have seen Reverend Jesse Lee taking down Lion Ted like a boss. It was beautiful. Really? He actually fights. Hey. Okay. The reporter. I'm good. Are you doing something for USC?
I'm sorry?
Are you doing something for USC?
I'm doing my own today.
Okay.
But, how is it going at the city council? I'm very city council.
Oh, things are good. We're working on bankrupting them if they don't renounce the sanctuary city policy. Joseph Turner's leading that. Do you know Sherry Bebbich Jeffy?
Sure.
Is she one of your professors?
She's at NBC and USA. Yeah.
And now she's in. I talked to her and she went on a curse-laden rant against me, and her husband said called me a fucker, and I've got it on Facebook Live. She actually laughed at me when I said voter fraud might be an issue. She grabbed my arm. She got very hostile.
Let me tell you quickly. I sent Donald Trump a letter asking for an on-camera interview with him, and he sent me back about a month ago. No.
Okay.
So what should I do? You're the Trump supporter.
You should put it in a frame.
I tell him I know Arthur.
Yes, you should. And put the letter in a frame and be glad he talked to you.
Right.
There you go. Remind me of your name again?
Eitan.
What is it?
Eitan.
Eitan, yeah, I remember. Good to see you. Okay.
This one was.
Okay, are there any like non-Trumpers here? Oh, like the jacket. Nice. Okay. Hey, how are you?
That was great yesterday.
Oh, you mean like? Oh, okay. I know it was totally biased. Okay, I gotta get out of here. I wanted to talk to you, man. I'll talk to you later. Okay.
Thank you for coming to Politicon.
Because I hate Kamala Harris with a passion.
Obviously, we had to move because of the great interest in your invading the town hall.
Pro-life. Got it.
Fascinating time here, and really lucky because of a lot of
Puppies.
down in front. He's in one of our comics contests. He's extraordinarily funny. He's an Emmy Award-winning writer, which I am not. He is a stand-up, and he's incredibly articulate, very smart. Help lead this. Please welcome Adam Yensley.
All right, thank you guys. Who's excited to see Ben Shapiro here today? Like he mentioned, I am an Emmy Award-winning writer, but they're daytime Emmys, which is like, I'm a better joke writer than the ladies of The View.
Oh!
I'm currently a writer for the Ellen DeGeneres show.
Oh.
And I'll keep writing for Ellen until they find out I opened for Ben Shapiro. Then I'll be kicked out of Hollywood forever.
Oh, blacklisted, just like it has
been.
been.
Event. This is going to be town hall style, so when Ben comes up here, he'll let you know when. There's 2 microphones in the middle aisle here. You can line up at the microphones, wait your turn to ask a question, and you'll have the chance to talk to Ben, but keep the questions concise and to the point. There's a lot of people here. We want to hear him speak. We want to get as many people in as possible. I've been a fan of Ben Shapiro as one of the few conservative working comic writers in Hollywood. I've loved Ben Shapiro ever since
There you go.
She's in the wrong place.
There are not many of us, but we're out there.
Well, she's not so tolerant,
I've been a fan
is
of
she?
Ben Shapiro ever since I first started reading his articles on Breitbart several years ago. He has some great books out there, Porn Generation, Bullies. You should check out his books. Really, really important cultural books you should check out. I honestly don't think there's very few people who articulate conservative values from a more intelligent and rational and well-informed position than Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
I'm such a big fan of his, I'm almost ready to click on the part of the podcast that you have to pay more to listen to. But no, we should all listen to Ben Shapiro more often. You guys are going to get that chance right now. He is the editor-in-chief of the Daily Wire. You guys know him from the Ben Shapiro Show. Please give it up for Ben Shapiro, everybody.
Alrighty, so welcome to my living room. I'll be right back. Okay, so first of all, everybody should know that we are moving the book signing because we started late here. We're moving the book signing to after the debate. And as soon as this is over, get right back in line for the debate, because they're basically back to back now. So just be aware of that. And I have no opening statement, so I'm happy to take as many questions as you want to get.
Wow,
so charge in line.
That's pretty.
There it is, right there.
That's actually pretty refreshing. Look at them line up, folks.
I do have one rule, which is my usual, which is that if you disagree with me, if you are on the left particularly, raise your hand and you get to go to the front. No cheating. We're doing the honor rule here, so.
Oh my God.
Someone's being murdered in the other room. Okay, so. Go ahead.
No, it's not working. There must be some magic words.
Probably turned off.
Sorry. All right, we may not agree, but we'll listen to each other. Shh, I can't freaking hear.
So I do think that the president, if he has the authority, should prevent the Congress from getting out of Obamacare. They should have to live with the regime that they've created for everybody else. As far as whether it has the constitutional authority to do it, to be fair, I haven't actually looked in detail at the legislation, the section of the legislation, so I'll have to punt on that one.
Well, hi Ben, I'm a fan of elementary softball. He said at the college campus event, quote, something I think most people write is a constant refrain, yeah, socialism is a great idea if it worked. It's not true, it's a morally crappy idea. My question refers to an example. In the early days of the Mormon Church, the practice was known as the law of consecration, where church members consented that material goods be distributed. Like most social experiments failed because of individual weakness. In theory, is this morally corrupt?
So here's my view of economic systems as a general matter. There's a difference in how you handle your family and how you handle the broad economy. So in my own family, we are socialists, meaning that my wife and I share a bank account. Right? It means that children can rely on me to take care of them. That's a socialist system in the sense that we all pool our common resources and then, from each according to his ability to each according to his need. That's my family. It doesn't work when you're talking about a broad range of people with vast difference in priorities. And what you see very often in religion, and this is true with regard to, for example, the Old Testament talks about why it doesn't like interest payments. Okay, that's in the context specifically of basically a familial Jewish tribe. If you look at the New Testament, when it talks about how all of the disciples shared everything they had in common, it's specifically talking about a group of people who are treating each other as family. It doesn't extend out to the entire society. Every time it's tried as an entire society, it ends up destroying the society. Because you can't get everyone to consent to a common set of goals that require me to do more work on your behalf. I don't love you enough for me to give you my stuff. You don't love me enough to give you your stuff. Nor should we have to.
Okay, so I was wondering, what's your opinion on our president, Donald Trump, delaying the movement of the U.S. Embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem?
I mean, he promised that he was going to make the move. He hasn't made the move. I mean, it's that simple. I don't see any reason, rhyme, why he shouldn't move the embassy. I know there was a theory that was going around that maybe Prime Minister Netanyahu didn't want him to move the embassy. I've seen no evidence to that effect. In fact, I've been told by people in the know that Prime Minister Netanyahu said precisely the opposite, that he would very much prefer if President Trump would move the embassy. The Congress has, for more than a decade, been pushing the executive branch to move the embassy. There's really no excuse for it. And I understand that he says it's a delay and eventually he'll do it, but it seems to me the timing should not be material, especially given what's happening right now. Proof that if you were to attempt to internationalize Jerusalem in any way, you immediately fall into discrimination, violence, and brutality.
Thank you.
I'm doing research currently on whether or not flat tax is better or marginal tax rate for income taxes. So I would like to hear from you for why we should have a flat tax, not progressive tax, or the argument for that.
Okay, so I have a basic moral argument against the progressive tax rate, which is that just because I am making more money does not mean that you should be able to take more of a percentage of my money. Percentage is by nature. A percentage is by nature fair. I mean, 20% of my money is more than 20% of your money, unless you're making enormous sums of money. So the fact that there are people who think that you ought to pay more money just because the more money you make, there's no real moral argument for that other than I want your money and you make a lot of it. So I have a problem with that just on a moral level. On an economic level, it seems to me that as you penalize people for making more and more money, there are going to be gaps, right? You see this. You see that there are certain income cliffs where people are afraid that if they make more than a certain amount of money, that the next dollar they make is now going to be taxed at a higher tax rate. And so why would you bother hiring 20 new employees to get you past that mark if you're then going to have to pay a higher tax rate? It's not a steep cliff depending on how large the marginal tax rate increase is. But if you have what we used to have in the United States, the 91% tax rate,
lots of people want to talk to you.
$5 million a year. Once you get up to that point, what's the point of making another dollar? You may as well just save your breath, not hire a new employee, and keep your money.
Okay, thank you.
Tax question as well.
You guys are excited.
I won't start with a 5-minute speech. What is your opinion or your position on taxation of religious institutions?
So taxation is I have sort of a split opinion on this. Right, tax exemption for religious institutions. So I have kind of a split opinion on this a little bit. So
Sir, you got to go all the way to the back right there. When you press allow.
Only press? Okay, I'll sit down. I'll sit down.
Tax everything that's going to tax, and that way we're all running under the same rubric. By the same token, I also do believe what it says in McCullough versus Maryland, which is the power to tax is the power to destroy. And once you give the government the power to tax specific institutions, then you could see them use that in order to destroy those institutions. With that said, I tend to err more on the side of the first than the second. In fact, I think one of the worst things that's happened to religious institutions in the United States is you've seen a lot of religious institutions get out of the political business because they're afraid they're going to lose their tax-exempt status. And that to me is actually an abdication of religious duty in some cases. Right? There are religious values that undergird politics for millions and millions of people in the country. I think that's an actually good thing. And the fact that religious institutions won't do it anymore because they're afraid that they're going to lose their tax-exempt status and then people won't give them enough money, maybe if you get rid of that incentive, suddenly you see religious institutions start to get more active in terms of forming a social fabric and getting involved in politics, which I think would actually be a good thing.
Yes, it would.
Yes.
I agree. Hey, Ben. I was just in the previous panel listening to the infighting among Republicans, and it was quite frankly depressing. And coming here is actually inspiring, seeing how many people came for you. But I'm just wondering, what ideas do you have that for us to stop the infighting, to get together and not look at each other as enemies?
So I think that we have to, number one, stop attributing nasty motives to one another. I think that there's an attempt by people on both sides to attribute nasty, and when I say both sides, I mean really both sides of the Trump question, because that seems to be the big divide dividing conservatives right now. On the one hand, you'll have people who are like me, who didn't vote for other candidates, and some people who are like that will say that Trump voters, they have bad intent, and that they bought into everything that was bad about the man, and they sort of malign Trump voters as though they did something deeply wrong. I never said that. I don't believe that. I think most Trump voters voted for Trump, not because they loved all the bad things about Trump, but because they thought that Hillary Clinton was the worst candidate in the history of the Republic. On the other side, I think that Trump voters would be wise to look at some people who are very uncomfortable with Trump and say, maybe there's a reason people are uncomfortable with Trump, and maybe we'd be better off, instead of embracing all of his stupidities, instead of saying that he's playing 987-degree, underwater, upside-down, hungry, hungry hippos, right? Maybe instead of doing that, maybe we ought to just say, listen, some of the dumb stuff he's doing is dumb, some of the good stuff he's doing is good. Like, it's so weird to me that we're even having a debate at this point, right? The election already happened, he's the president. When he does something that's good for conservatives, we should all cheer. When he did Gorsuch, I put on a MAGA hat. Okay, and when he does something stupid, like he attacks his own attorney general on Twitter for a week and a half, and then activates Anthony Scaramucci, who's legitimately, at this point I'm just rooting for entertainment, so I want Mooch to stay, but he activates Anthony Scaramucci, who legitimately is the Ellis character from Die Hard, right? And he activates him to attack the chief of staff instead of just having the balls to fire his chief of staff. I think we should all agree this is kind of dumb. Like, this is not useful. The question shouldn't be, is it entertaining? The question should be, does it forward the ball? And I think that people on the Trump side need to get away from the idea that there's some sort of mastermind genius working inside Trump's gourd that is making all of the dumb things obviously super smart.
I disagree.
Dumb things are dumb. I mean, come on.
I disagree. Why is it dumb, though?
All right, so bear with me, Shapiro. I had this all written on my phone. My phone died on the way here, and I left my charger in the car, which takes maybe 5 minutes to take off. So
tragedy strikes.
Not running through the metal detector again. So I don't really stand with either party. I was raised Republican, but I side with you on a lot of things. I'm called an anarchist centrist.
It's a weird label. All right.
It's a weird, yeah. I can't think of a better one. Apparently no one else can, other than maybe mutualism. But okay, so my question is, and this isn't an attack, and maybe this is indirect. I could go over this for hours, but this is the best way I can say it. Do you think either party will push in the next 4 years to decrease income equality and return power, opportunity, decent wages, and liberty of the working people of this great country, and truly push to fight against the great favor and power and liberty and opportunity that is so very much in the lap of the super rich industrial elite?
Okay.
Or will both parties continue to serve the elite as they have for many decades?
Okay, so my first problem is I fell asleep halfway through the question.
I spent 20 minutes trying to figure this out with my buddy, and he's like, I don't know.
It took you 20 minutes to say it, too. Here's my feeling. Number one, I don't care about income inequality. I care about the idea that there are people who have actual obstacles to success. That's not the same thing, right? If you have somebody,
that's right.
You know, I've been in the 1%, I've been outside the 1%. I hope that all of you one day are in the 1%. The fact that I am now in the 1% is nothing from you, right? I didn't take any money from any of you guys, and I would challenge you to, take me to the cops if you think I stole something from you, because I certainly haven't. So the idea that that is a chief problem in the United States, I just don't agree with. But if the question is, does either party have a real incentive to help the American people, the answer is no. Both parties have an incentive to engage in the rage machine. I wrote an entire piece about this for National Review. Right now, what you have is an angry moment. Everybody is pissed about something. But the question is whether your anger is justified. Right? If you're a good person and you're married and you're getting angry about something and you want to have a good marriage, the first thing you should ask is not what did my spouse do to me. The first thing you should ask is it justified that I'm angry? Like, am I really doing the right thing here? And in politics, the same thing is true. Political parties don't have an incentive to do that. So say, for example, you're living in a dying Midwestern town where all of the jobs have moved overseas because of competition, or because of technology, you're no longer going to get that job at the factory. Like, it's just gone. It's not coming back. So you can be pissed at something, right? So the Democrats say what you should be pissed at is you should be pissed at all the people on Wall Street who obviously screwed you, and that's why you don't have a job in this industry where a machine's doing your job. And on the right, you have a bunch of people who will say, well, it's China, right? Or it's Mexico. and let's be real about this. The fact is that a lot of those jobs are gone because technology moves forward. I mean, you don't have the same economy that my parents had, where my mom worked at a company for 20 years. And since I got out of law school, I've probably worked 5 or 6 jobs, and that's not unusual. People are moving more and more often now. But no one's going to say that. So if you say to somebody, your anger is not justified, the best thing that you can do right now is recognize that no one cares enough about you to get in your way. Go out and make something of yourself, and we'll try and find resources for you, on a social level, not a governmental level. We'll try and go out there and raise the money so you can go to college. We'll try to raise the money for you we'll try to give you the job opportunity so you can get your start. But that's the best way to get ahead, not to sit and bitch and moan about politics. Unfortunately, those politicians lose.
What they do.
Right? I'm not in the business of getting votes. And so I can say all these things. But if you're a politician and you say to your own constituency, you're pissed, but your reason for being pissed is really bad, how about get your shit together? Right then?
If I can add one more thing, what is the solution if half the labor jobs are maybe gone to robots in the next 20 years?
Well, I mean, so I think that if we reach the point where we have the replicator from Star Trek and all goods are, plentiful across the board, and there is no more poverty essentially because the cost of things becomes zero, then you can start talking about a universal basic income. But until then, scarcity is what drives the economy. There has not been a magic shift in jobs. We still have, as close to full employment as you can have if you trust the U6 unemployment statistics. And so the idea that we're on the verge of, half the country being unemployed and everybody's going to be wandering the streets selling Oxy, it's happening. It's happening in some places in the United States, but the idea is that There have always been these labor shifts.
Right. Well, I'm not implying that's going to happen soon.
No, I understand. And I understand there are a lot of people asking that question that are not just you. Right. But I think that we should probably focus on the problems that are now and 5 years and 10 years in front of us, as opposed to the future when technology becomes so grand that I don't even have a job. There's somebody up here, speaking in computer language to you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for your time, sir.
Howdy.
I don't know where all the leftists are. They didn't come to the front, but I used to be a leftist. You converted me about a year ago.
All right.
It's like an AA meeting.
I didn't have a speech prepared. But I'm also a gay Jewish Republican from New York, of all places. That's weird. And both single-handedly, you and my dad helped, convince me with really just intellectual honesty to consider the other side. So I hope you keep doing that. That's
thank you for actually considering it. You're the one who has to do the work.
So I've heard you say many times that the marketplace works out issues of discrimination by letting perpetrators lose business from fair-minded folks, thus eliminating the need for government overreach. But I've also heard you say that while not illegal, it's nasty to exact revenge on businesses with boycotts. So what are you left with?
Yeah, so this is actually a really good question. So I think that the question is, does it impact the operation of the business? Meaning that, so for example, Brendan Eich at Mozilla Firefox is somebody who gave money to the anti-gay marriage effort in California and who's basically thrown out of his job by the higher-ups there. And I thought that was nasty because that actually creates a climate where political viewpoints that you disagree with are a way of throwing you out of your job. If, however, you have a situation where people are, the actual function of their job is being impacted. So Brendan Eich's job was not impacted by his actual viewpoint. Then I don't think that a boycott, if it impacts the function of your job, then a boycott might be appropriate if you disagree with the behavior. Right? If it doesn't actually impact the working of your job, I don't think the boycott is appropriate. Exactly. So Brandon Eich, another example that's controversial here in LA, like if you can't show me any evidence that Donald Sterling was banning black people from his games, I think that boycotting the Clippers because of Donald Sterling is really weird. Like Donald Sterling is a piece of crap, for sure. But if it didn't impact how he was actually running his organization, there might have been impact on that, by the way. But if there wasn't, then it's weird to boycott him. So my general rule on this is that a boycott is appropriate if you feel that the business is being run in such a way as to be discriminatory. But a boycott is not appropriate based on the viewpoint of the person who owns the business if it is not enacted in the actual practice of the business.
Okay, perfect. That's actually very precise. Excellent.
Discrimination
I'm going to give it a shot.
Class.
Listen, it's a free country, so my moral view may not be your moral view. Like things I may boycott may not be things that you boycott. I don't think so. I don't believe in general protected class stuff. Generally, tends to me to apply to governmental action, not to private citizens. Right? Like for example, the Civil Rights Act talks specifically about.
Folks, I gotta take off for a sec. I'll be back in a couple minutes. Okay.